We're on High Street in Rochdale, and this is where there was a chapel called Providence Chapel in John Ashworth's day. This is Redcross Street. There used to be a school here which John Ashworth went to when he was a boy. That building in the middle is where the Ashworth Chapel for the Destitute was built after John Ashworth's death. And that's Rope Street. When John Ashworth was a boy, there was a prison there known as the Rochdale Lockup. And he remembered and wrote in one of his tales how he went to this school here with a boy who was his friend called James Farrow, and James Farrow's father ended up being hanged at Lancaster Castle for committing a violent robbery at Hopwood Hall. And John Ashworth remembers being at that school with James, his friend. He remembers the day James found out his father, who was called George Farrow, was sent to prison at the lockup. He asked John Ashworth to go with him to visit his dad at the lockup. And they spoke to him through the keyhole. This is where Providence Chapel was. More recently there was a Salvation Army hostel here, and that was actually called Providence House. Obviously the chapel, Providence Chapel, is long gone now, but when John Ashworth was a boy he remembered going to that chapel and sitting on a very small pew that they had there. You usually had to pay to go to a church or a chapel. Well, he went to that chapel and sat on that little pew now and then and listened to the preaching, and he said he never paid anything to go and sit on that pew, so he didn't know if he was supposed to or not, but he never did. He heard, when he was about 12 years old, a man called William Dawson preach, and he was inspired so much he just believed that God had some special work for him to do in his life.